The following lesson is taken from our course Windows 10 with JAWS, which is a part of our JAWS Academy program. For more information on how to access this online self-paced learning option, please send us an email at training@visionoptional.com.
A metallic blue globe is seen spinning in the center of the screen on a dark blue background. The words Vision Optional slide in each side. Below, Braille letters appear one by one, spelling out Vision Optional.
Introduction to Screen Readers. In this lesson, we're going to talk about what screen readers are and how we use them to operate the computer non-visually. What is a screen reader? A screen reader is a piece of software that attempts to convey information displayed on a screen to blind and vision impaired users and anyone with a print disability. It accomplishes this by converting the information to speech via text-to-speech technology, or TTS. So put another way, a screen reader simply reads the information displayed on the screen out loud using a speech synthesizer, which is the voice that you hear. Screen readers can also use auxiliary devices such as refreshable Braille displays to display the same information in Braille. There are three main screen readers on the Windows operating system, and they are Windows Narrator, which is built into the Windows operating system, NVDA, which is Non-Visual Desktop Access by NVAccess, which is a free alternative to JAWS, and the JAWS Screen Reader by Freedom Scientific. How are screen readers used? Well, the first thing we have to figure out is how are we going to operate the computer without being able to visually confirm what is on the screen? If you have had usable vision at any point, or maybe you're fully sighted and you spent time working with the computer in that state, then you have no doubt used a combination of a keyboard and a mouse. But for blind users, we take the mouse completely out of the equation. We just throw that out the window because we interact with the computer solely from the keyboard. And this is a more efficient way of working with the computer, and you'll see why as we progress through the course. So the first thing is we operate the computer completely from the keyboard. The second thing is the screen reader is going to give us information based on what we're doing. So if we're navigating or performing a command that is looking for specific information from the screen reader, it's going to give us that information. So we need to understand how to move around the computer and the commands associated with the screen reader. But the most important thing is to be able to comprehend the information that the screen reader is giving you. And when we get to customizing the settings of JAWS, you will see an option that allows you to increase or decrease the rate of speech. And that's going to be important because not everyone comprehends at the same rate. But that's the most important. It's no use of being able to access information if you can't understand the information. Types of key commands. There are two main categories of key commands: single key commands and key combinations. A single key command is one key that performs an action when pressed. Examples of this would be your alphanumeric keys, arrow keys, spacebar, enter, and escape key. Key combinations are two or more keys that work together to perform an action. And key combinations introduce the concept of a modifier key. A modifier key is a key that changes the behavior of another key. Examples of a modifier key would be your control key, the Windows key, Alt key, Shift key, and a JAWS-specific modifier key, which is the insert key. Now, if, for example, we wanted to capitalize the letter K, we would hold down the Shift key and tap the letter K. So Shift in this case would be our modifier and the letter K would be the activator. Key combinations include one or more modifier keys and one activator. So remember that when you're using a key combination, the modifier key is the key that you hold down and the activator is the key that you tap to perform the desired action. Windows and JAWS commands. So what are the differences between Windows key commands and JAWS key commands? Windows key commands can be used whether or not the JAWS screen reader is active.
but JAWS key commands only work when JAWS is active because they are JAWS specific. Windows key commands can be single key commands or key combinations. JAWS key commands are primarily key combinations that involve the JAWS modifier key, but also implement some single key commands as well. So the main difference to pay attention to here is that Windows key commands can be used whether or not JAWS is active, and that means that anyone can use them. But JAWS key commands are specific to the JAWS software, and that means that screen reader users have access to them. Why would this be important? Well, it's important because the more experience you gain on a computer, the more opportunity there is for issues to pop up. And in the case of a screen reader such as JAWS, you may encounter issues such as the screen reader crashing or no longer working. And instead of having to restart the machine entirely, you can usually bring the screen reader back up if you understand the correct Windows keys to use and you are efficient with the keyboard. And this really helps because when you're doing it this way, you're not getting feedback from the screen reader because, again, it's not working. But if you were to use the correct Windows key, you can bring the screen reader back up with little to no issue usually. And to all of you parents out there too, I'm a father of 3 kids. 2 of my kids do not have vision impairments. But when they were little, they used to hop on the computer and want to go to YouTube, and they didn't know how to do it, so they would ask me, and they wouldn't be screen reader users either. So JAWS would not always be running, and I didn't always want to just bring the screen reader back up. I just wanted to perform the task as quickly as possible, and I was able to turn on the computer and move where I needed to go to the website and everything without getting any feedback from the screen reader. I was just using Windows key commands. So that's another benefit of understanding the differences between the two and the importance of being able to type efficiently and understand what you're doing on the computer.
A page appears. Subscribe and follow us on Facebook, Anchor FM, and Twitter @Vision Optional.